you guys are looking to get into entrepreneurship, I know it's kind of like a buzzword these days, but it's kind of necessary. I totally get it. I want to give you a few things that I had to do or cut out my life when I went from my 9-to-5 job and transitioning into entrepreneurship that I believe that led me on to a path of success. Now, you guys can copy some of these things or do some of these things. And I know this is kind of be controversial, but I promise you're going to have to become a different person. The person that you are at your job, going in and working, and the habits that you have now is going to be completely different in your entrepreneurial, kind of self, okay? In this video, I hope to inspire you and encourage you to find a side hustle so you can start replacing your income from your job, and then that way you can feel comfortable transitioning outside of your job and being able to have control of over your time, being able to make more money than you've ever made before, and then give like you've never given before, so that way you can live the lifestyle of your dreams, okay? If you don't know, my name is Sawan Belcher. This is me taking action right here on YouTube. Do yourself a favor. Go down to my website. This is metakinaction.com. Wait on the page right there, and it'll be a link for you to put in your email so you can download a free purchase agreement. Now, I use real estate investing, to live my ultimate, dream life. We have 6 kids, have a dog. My wife stays at home. We've been doing this full time for 7 years and have made a really comfortable living. I make these kind of videos to inspire you to do the same. But more importantly, I share with you the exact strategies on our newsletter every week of how to dominate your real estate market so you can do the same in your life, okay? Now, let's talk about this. So I was actually at a 9-to-9, I call it. I sold cars at the dealership. Now, it was beautiful at the time because it gave me discipline, it gave me structure, it taught me sales, it taught me communication, put me in a spot to be comfortable, and it made me realize it's okay to be uncomfortable. That growth happens, in an uncomfortable state. But I had to really change the way I did things, okay? Now, the first major thing that I changed was I had to reevaluate my time, okay? Now, actually, I did learn this from the dealership, but what you have to do is figure out is how much your hourly wage is worth. So you take the amount of money that you made for the year, and then you divide that up into the hours, and then of course you end up coming up with your hourly wage. Now, for you all that have a job that you make an hourly wage on, this is easier for you because you already know how much you make per hour. But for us in sales or in entrepreneurship, our hourly wage can be different. Now, at this point, I believe my hourly wage was about $60 an hour. So what this logic or law says is that anything less than $60 an hour, you cannot do, okay? You will not do it. It is best that you pay somebody else the $40 or whatever it is to do something, and you have them do it, okay? So this is the first thing that I had to, grasp, because I love cutting grass, okay? I love cutting grass. I love seeding the yard. I love being in the flower bed. I love being in the garden. And cutting the grass and maintaining the grass, that's like a weekly or sometimes twice a week task, if you're really doing it the right way. And so it was tough. It was tough. I had to force myself to get out of something that I loved doing, okay, and give that up, because someone who was willing to cut the grass the right way that I liked was willing to cut the grass for $40. It took 3 hours to cut my yard and charge me $40. So for me, when my time was worth $60 an hour, why would I pay in time $60, $120, $180? Why would I pay $180 when I could just pay him $40 for the same task? You see, that doesn't make any sense. So you're gonna have to reevaluate things in your life based off of your hourly wage. Some things you're just not gonna be able to do anymore, okay? And it might not feel good. Like I said, I loved cutting grass. It's not gonna feel good that you're not gonna be able to do that anymore, but it's going to push you in the right direction. Because ultimately, I didn't have to get my lawnmower serviced. I didn't have to use that time. I would be able to replace that time with doing some other income-driven activity. and I'll be able to, buy back my time doing that. The next thing that I had to adopt was getting in rooms where money was, where other people doing business was. See, like I'm a loner, like I said, I like cutting grass, being in the garden. So that's things that you do by yourself, and you're thinking and you're manifesting and all those kinds of things. But in an entrepreneurship world, you have to be around other entrepreneurs. You have to be around other business leaders, other guys moving in the same direction you're moving. You see, when you do this, they will say things to you that will cause you to get competitive. They will say things that will change your mindset or give you an idea to implement today. A lot of the times when you're hanging around people that are more affluential or make more money or have better leadership skills, is they will plant something in you that will grow a seed the next day or the next week or in the next year. And if you don't get those seeds in that harvest, then you'll literally have lack, or you'll be in the same place for longer. And see, I had to force myself to say, hey, I'm gonna make sure I get in these rooms. I'm gonna go to the local RIA meetings, the local Real Estate Investors Association meetings. I'm going to pay the $2,000 or $3,000 to go to these real estate conferences. I'm going to cut out eating McDonald's, and I'm gonna make sure that I go sit down at a lunch bar for lunches, so that way I can talk to those kind of people. I'm gonna go to city council meetings because I want to own real estate in these certain neighborhoods, and I want to let these people know what I'm doing. You're gonna have to figure out who you need to be around, where they hang out, so that way they can rub off on you, network with you, and ultimately end up doing business with you. One relationship can change your whole life. One relationship can change your whole life. The relationships that I made in 2016 and 2017 and 18, when I was just, relentless, they're still with me today. And push yourself, push yourself. Especially for those of you who are, 18 to 28, you guys are living the time of your life now. You're so young that the mistakes that you make right now, in 5 years, they won't even matter. So your goal as being a young person or a young entrepreneur, even if you're 30, your goal right now is okay to take risks, calculated risks, risks that you say that's optimistic. You know what I mean? Not pessimist. We're not looking at that. We're looking at strategic risk-taking opportunity. Your future self is literally on the other side of your uncomfortableness. Okay, I'm telling you. You guys just gotta have a strategy behind it. Gotta have some faith. Okay, take action. Let's get it, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one.